In May 2018, around 100 academics signed a letter regarding the extent and reality of the climate emergency, which amounted to a direct call to action to people across the UK. Civil disobedience, it said, was required on a massive scale in order to force the UK government to act. The letter stated, when a government willfully abrogates its responsibility to protect its citizens from harm and to secure the future for generations to come, it has failed in its most essential duty of stewardship. The social contract has been broken, and it is therefore not only our right, but our moral duty to rebel to defend life itself. People across the country took up the call, and Extinction Rebellion was officially launched in October of that year with our Declaration of Rebellion, which saw more than 1,000 people blocking roads around Parliament. Extinction Rebellion, XR, is founded on principles of civil disobedience. This means we use non-violent direct action to actively defy the laws of the state, openly and peacefully. There are many reasons why we use these methods, and in doing so we inherit a rich history of activism from our ancestors in movements such as the civil rights movement, the suffragette movement, anti-war movement, Gandhi, among others. Strategically, civil disobedience, if done en masse, so thousands of people on the streets of the capital day after day, like we saw in April and October 2019 in London, can disrupt business as usual enough that the government is forced to the negotiating table. We saw this happen in April, where members of the British government entered negotiations with XR, leading to the declaration of climate emergency. It's important to remember, though, that civil disobedience can also be effective when done in small groups or even individually. In September last year, for example, I was involved in a day of non-violent direct action which saw just 70 people block printing presses in the UK. The intention there was not for us to force the government to the negotiating table as such, but rather to force a really important conversation into the open and highlight the issues. In this case, the failure of the British media to tell the truth on the climate and ecological emergency, and the corruption that allows billionaire newspaper owners to shape our democracy. This is a campaign that will be continuing in 2021, and in doing so, we'll be continuing to ask journalists like yourselves, people with very real power in the world, to step up and meet the challenge with us. Financial disobedience is an extension of this into the non-physical realm. We can withdraw our cooperation with a criminal state and system by disrupting the flow of money and debt. Our economic system determines so much of how society operates, and we all know that a lot of the corruption and failure of our political leaders has its root in where they get their money. Our growth-obsessed economy is killing us, there's no question. Money Rebellion aims to address that by breaking the rules and disrupting powerful institutions that govern our lives at great personal risk to themselves. We have 3 simple demands in XR. The third is that the government initiates and is led by a citizens' assembly on climate and ecological justice.